Do you know anyone who fills his or her playtime with productivity and does it religiously? Working out is great for the body and the mind. Experts tell us that exercise improves our health inside and out, from our hearts to the strength in our limbs. No one can negate the benefits of regular, vigorous exercise. But exercise becomes a problem when we set goals for physical activity that consume our time, energy, and minds. Finding marathons to prepare for and then running in them, fulfilling our Fitbit exercise goals, or living for our next challenge. As David Zoll in his book Seculosity reminds us, if the purpose for our fitness routine is to be more productive, then productivity has replaced our playtime activity. Mindfulness is a wonderful practice that helps reduce stress in our overproductive lives. Zoll says, mindfulness refers to a proven technique for re-entering the present moment and thereby experiencing reprieve from the mental projections that cause us so much suffering and stress. To be mindful involves sitting still and paying attention to the various narratives and imperatives that haunt our inner lives. It can be helpful to think of those narratives as a tape that plays in your head on repeat. It's usually some variation of not good enoughness, such as, if people really knew me, they'd laugh at me, or my body is gross. Mindfulness enables us to look at those negative thoughts that we seem to dwell on, note them, and then dismiss them because they distort reality. But even this ancient practice of mindful meditation is corrupted by apps that encourage users to compete. It's possible to buy an app that will charge your credit card every time you miss a meditation session. Sadly, some companies now encourage employees to meditate because they found it increases work productivity. How many of you have a Fitbit that tells you how much deep sleep you get each night? I confess that I do. At first, I looked at it all the time and then realized that I'll get what I get, and stressing over my app graph won't change my sleep cycle. I can go to bed a little earlier, which I strive to do, but even then, sometimes I don't sleep well. Sleep meant to relax and recharge the body then becomes a source of stress. And yes, most of us finally agree that sleep does increase productivity. The body needs to play, and some of us don't know how. I finally learned to look for ways to make myself quit producing and play. My first attempt was fishing. Have to keep my eye on my bobber, no time to read a book or pull out my latest crochet project. Then I sailed for a while. A sailor, even of a small sailing boat, must keep an eye on the sail, watch the wind, and hold the rudder at all times. Again, no time or hands for other more productive tasks. While I was fishing last weekend, I watched a woman out in her kayak in the middle of the lake. She rowed to one side of the lake and then just sat for a while. Then she rowed to another spot and just sat for a while. I decided that I want to do that. Sit and look for what I might see. The biggest reason why we need to learn to play is because God commanded us to do so. The fourth commandment is the longest and instructs us. Keep the Sabbath day and treat it as holy, exactly as the Lord your God. 6 days you may work and do all your tasks, but the seventh day is a Sabbath to the Lord your God. Don't do any work on it, not you, your sons and daughters, your male or female servants, your oxen or donkeys, or any of your animals, or the immigrant who is living among you. so that your male and female servants can rest just like you. May the fourth commandment, that is, be with you.